Hello everyone. Welcome back to another video. Happy Friday. I hope the past week treated you very well and that this coming weekend is going to treat you even better. Thank you so much for choosing to watch my video. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and commenting. I truly appreciate each and every one of you who has been with us from day one up until this far. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank my subscribers and thank my viewers and thank my new subscribers and my new viewers. I truly appreciate you guys, and I also want to thank those who keep subscribing and unsubscribing. Thank you to you too. But I would say this: if you are not sure about a channel, guys, you don't have to subscribe to it. You really don't have to subscribe to it, and you can just watch, because in this home we are trying to build positivity only. We don't want anything negative, and if you keep subscribing and unsubscribing, that's kind of like demoralizing on my side, because I go into this mode where I ask myself, am I doing something wrong? Did I say something wrong? Did I offend anyone? So I'm okay with anyone who chooses to be just a viewer and not be a subscriber, because I really want my channel to be all about people who understand me or who likes me, and that we can build a home or a community, and who will understand why I am doing what I am doing. But nonetheless, I thank you, I appreciate you, and I appreciate the time that you had spent with us, and I hope that you continue to watch the channel even if you are not a subscriber, and that you at least took something out of this channel. So just a disclaimer: my neighbors are doing some sort of a renovation, so there will be a bit of noise at the background. Plus my daughter, I cannot control when she barks and all of that, but I think if you've been here, I have a four-legged daughter that has a mind of her own, that can bark non-stop, or that chooses to bark whenever I'm doing voiceovers. So if you've been here for a while, if you are new, we have a four-legged daughter or a fair baby in this house that barks, that rules. Actually, she's the owner of our lives. She does what she wants to do. And the other day I actually realized that our life revolves around her. Now our decisions are supposed to include her, are supposed to be made with the question that, okay, if we do 1, 2, 3, what about Kara? She's the queen, the princess of this house. But anyway, if you are new here, you're probably not going to understand what I'm doing, and I think I'm not going to share the making of the dough. I didn't share that because I think I have shared that in so many videos. If you want to know how I make this, I'm making bagels, and I use the same dough for rolls and bagels. So the cooking or the baking, it is what is different, because the bagel, we boil them first, and then the rolls, we just take them straight to the oven. We let them prove and take them straight to the oven. And again, if you are a new subscriber or a new viewer, in my home, we get chest pains whenever we have to buy bread. We get chest pains whenever money is spent on lunch every day for both my son and my husband, because we know how expensive things are. So I go through this every 3 months. If it did not last, if my things did not last, my breakfast and lunch did not last, it's at least 2 months, but most of the time they last 2.5 months, and the last 2 weeks of the third month we will be scraping whatever it is that we can scrape. So someone would say, why? I don't know if I think I had explained this over and over again. It is cheaper. It is cheaper. I don't think if let's say my husband has to buy lunch at work, ne, or I make breakfast in the morning, it's expensive. I don't think he can get anything for less than 100 rand. We're talking about him only. So calculate that by 5 and then by 4. That's like 2,000 rand. If my math is not running out, for a month is 2,000 rand. And we have not even added Theo into the mix. We haven't added Theo into the mix. And I can tell you that what I spent here is 2.5. So this is before I continue, this is the burrito or burrito filling, breakfast burrito filling. There's a burrito that they make with rice. That one is for dinner. This one is breakfast burrito filling. It's ground beef cooked, seasoned, and eggs seasoned, cooked separately. And then the hash browns, we make them together last time. This is everything when it's baked, the rolls and the bagels. It's not perfect, but it does the job. So it is the filling. It's ground beef, it's eggs, it's cheese, cheddar cheese, and then it is hash brown. The hash brown we did together when we were freezing potatoes. Those are the ones that I added there. So I used 2 kg of minced meat, and I used 15 eggs fried, and I used about 600 gram of grated cheddar, and then I used plus or minus 1 kg of minced meat. So we have done this over and over. It's not a new thing in our channel. While that was going, I was starting on dinner. The rolls were ready. I was doing the bread for the tomato and egg semis. So while I was doing that, I was also cooking dinner. We multitask. You have to multitask. There's no way. And here is me adding mushroom. I'm making stew, guys, and I'm cheating. I'm cheating. I don't have time to fry my meat individually or fry the mushrooms on the side. But you know what? It came out well. I'm not complaining. So I just added my mushroom there, and then we will continue. We will continue about why I do the breakfast meals. Let me do the stew now. And then I added the onion, the peppers, garlic powder, paprika. My garlic powder is mixed with onion powder. I added thyme, and I added garlic flakes, and I added rosemary. I added way too much, but that's okay. And I added 2 bay leaves, and I added anise star anise, and I added 2 whole allspice berry. and then I added my garlic chili ginger paste as well, and then we are mixing that up, and I added 50 grams of tomato paste. That's what we're going to add in there, and I added 25 gram of beef stock. You should, if under normal circumstances, you will mix this with water, but because I'm not ready to put in water, I decided to add it separately as it is, as concentrated as it is. And I added salt and a can of whole tomatoes. This is how I cut them, with a scissor. You know, when we are in a hurry, we make things easy. I don't have time to cut them separately, and I added 500 ml, let's say 600 ml, because the jug was very full, and I adjusted my seasoning with yellow salt, and I'm going to let this cook for 20 to 30 minutes on the stove, and then I will transfer it to the oven at 180 degrees for an hour, and it will be ready. Then I continue with my semi sandwich, tomato egg and tomato sandwich bread on the side. So I was saying that everything that I am doing here, the minced meat, the cheese, the bread, the flour, the eggs, the butter, it cost me 2,500. And with that being said, if my husband was to buy lunch, breakfast and lunch at work, we are probably talking about 100 rand or even more, you know. So when I do something like this, he's able to have breakfast at home, and then he will take either a sandwich, a bagel, or a roll, or a burrito, you know. I'm still trying other recipes as well, making sure that they can freeze well and still taste good. Once I'm done with that, I will probably be switching this up, because I've been doing it for quite a while now. And then this is the stew after an hour from the oven. This is how it looks. It tastes good. One thing that I forgot to tell you guys is that my meat, I had coated it with a little bit of flour before I fried it. So that's one thing that I forgot to tell you guys. This is how it looks. This is how it looks. This is the, for me, I'm cooking for me and my family. This is the stew. When I start making stew and I'm not cutting corners, that's what I made. We had that with mabele. We eat mabele in my house. It's our staple food. We do eat white pap, but it is once in a while. So once that was going, I started, once everything was we had eaten dinner, and you know, the breads, they were done, I started on banana bread, something sweet for family. I added I added 4 eggs, 1.5 cup of sugar, 2/3 of melted butter. The other one was not full, but that's okay. 2 teaspoons of baking soda or bicarbonate of soda, and 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and vanilla essence, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then these are the bananas that I bought last time when I bought fruits. I mashed 4, like each pack has 4 bananas inside. I mashed them 4, and I put in a freezer, small freezer bag, and I froze them. So I've had them on the counter for most of the day. So basically I added 8 bananas in here. but 6 will be fine as well. And I added about a handful of walnuts, and my flour, it is 4 cups of flour. 4 cups. I did not sieve it because this is bread. We don't want it fluffy. If I was making a cake, yes, I would probably sieve it, but because I'm making bread, I'm not going to sieve it. So I mixed those together until it is well combined. The sugar, you can adjust it to your liking. I was okay with how mine was. I didn't need more, and then I transferred to my layered pan. Should I call it layered pan? I layered it with butter. I smeared butter on my pans, and I'm going to bake them at 180 degrees until golden brown. But there is something that I'm realizing, that at my oven, it has a mind of its own. It has a mind of its own. Like you can see that my rolls are slightly on a darker side. I'm not complaining though, that's okay for me. But this oven has been fixed, I don't know how many times. It has been fixed how many times. Each time I feel like I got a new oven that I don't know how to work, and it can be frustrating at times. So we are now going to cut the rolls and the bagels in half, and we will be adding the cheese and the cold meat onto it, package them and put them in a freezer. So with that being said, I'm going to say these lunches, as much as they are convenient for my family, they are not convenient for school kids. I want to put it out there, because at school, because for you to be able to consume them, you need to warm them up. And I do know that schools don't have microwave. It's not even if they did, it's not possible. How many kids are there? So it's not for kids. It's not for kids to take to school, because even if you warm it in the morning, when you warm bread, when it gets cold, it gets dry, it gets hard. So it's not, you can't even do it. I wish it was possible, but it's not possible. So all in all, the bagels and the rolls, it was 75 of them, and we had a couple. I think we had two each already, because I made them yesterday. So now we are just lining them with cheese and cold meats. The cold meats were what was expensive, to be quite honest, because the cheese I bought them at Macro. They were on special. I think it was 220 or 200 and something, I'm not sure. It's 72 inside. They were on special for two for that price. And then I bought the brown bags. Normally I use, if you've been here, I use wax paper. So I think wax paper was expensive for me this time around. I actually decided to go for the brown paper. It was 33 rand for 50. So I was happy with them, though I think I needed 3 packets, because the burritos, I didn't have the papers for them. I had to put them in a Ziploc. I froze them individually and put them in a Ziploc. And this is the French toast that I made, that I'm putting in a plastic, and then we're going to freeze the egg and tomato sandwich. So as I was saying that I had spent about 2,500 to make all of this, ne? And this is going to last us plus or minus 10 weeks. It's breakfast, it's lunch, and this time around it can go even further because we have smoothies, enough smoothies in a freezer. So I am not expecting to be making this for at least 4 months. This is the banana bread. It's another day. I made all of this in 3 days, guys, because I had to, electricity, load shedding. It had to be in consideration. This is just our reality. So I'm not expecting, I don't expect to be making this again in the next 3 to 4 months. 4 months I'm pushing it, but at least 3 months. This is what it's going to be for breakfast. It's going to be for lunch weekly. On weekends, obviously, we will cook something for breakfast, something for lunch, and all of that. But if not, we will probably grab something, and we have smoothies in the freezer as well, and leftovers there and there. So this, for me, it's also another way of saving me money, because I just told you that if my husband was to buy lunch at work every single day, he would have to spend at least, if he is being careful, at least 2,000 rand. I'm not even going to talk about Theo, and then I'm also included in these lunches. I also eat. Not only does it save me money, it also saves me time. I don't have to think about breakfast in the morning. I don't have to think about lunch. Everyone knows where the food is. If you're hungry, you can warm it up. I don't have to stop what I'm doing to make food. So for me to take 3 days or 4 days, whatever it is, depending on electricity, this time around it was 3 days. I used to do this for 2 days. Now it's 3 days. To take it out of 3 months, let's be realistic, 10 weeks to 3 months, for me that's a bargain, because that means I only have to worry about dinner. Even if it was not about money, it was going to save me money. It's saving me time. Even if it's not about money, it's saving me time. And time is everything, because there's a lot of things that I need to do daily. So for me, not having to worry about breakfast, I think that on its own, it's a bonus. Plus, my stingy self don't like spending. Guys, do you know how much is a loaf of bread, Mar? A loaf of bread, do you know how much it is? And I live with men. They eat one loaf in the morning only, and then lunch, it's another thing. And the price of noodles now, crazy as well, because that used to be something that I used to run to noodles, to cut the need to cook. But now everything is expensive. So if I was to say we buy bread, and you don't have bread on its own, you do not have bread on its own. Now, let me tell you guys about this before I go. The banana bread I made, and my family thought I made it for them to eat however they like it. Theo was complaining yesterday that Mama, these days you freezing everything. Hell yeah. I'm freezing everything. Why? Because for me, it's like I want it, on those Sundays where you can make a cup of coffee and, you know, with banana bread. That's why. It wasn't for them to consume all at once, but they'll be strong. Hey, anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and I hope to see you on my next video.